please tell us what inspired you to begin this ministry, and what's the story behind it?
It started with a voice in my head, and that's my mother's voice. When I was growing up, my mother would always tell me that hunger is a shared experience, that how I felt hunger is also the way that other people would feel it. She would say, when you have something to eat, always remember those who do not have. When I came here, I had a student who invited me to join her ministry. The time she and her community were packing food for students who were studying at the library. And I thought, wow, I like to be a part of that, or I like to do something like that. I was also inspired by some faculty and students. I know there are those who buy groceries for students and also cook food for those who do not have food. And I always think that that's something that I want to do. The turning point came when my student, Dr. Beng Obo, and I attended a research conference at Andrews University. We stayed with one of our former students, a student here at IAS who transferred to Andrews University, and she told us about God's Abundant Country. It's a ministry sponsored by the Andrews University Church. And so when it was serving time, she took us there and we interviewed the manager. We also observed how the serving was done. And we got very excited. That night, Beng could not almost sleep. She kept on saying, let's do something like this at IAS. No, let's do something like this at IAS. And I asked myself, can we do this? How can we sustain this? But I was challenged because, you see, Beng is not a Seventh-day Adventist. And her passion, and almost like she was not sleeping that night. The following day, that's all she could talk. So before we left Andrews, we had decided, together with Girly Aguilar, that's our student who moved there, that we would start. And so immediately when we got here, that Friday, we started serving. And that was in June 8, 2018.
Wow. Amazing. So that idea now translates into God's food basket now here at IAS. So how does this work now? How is it being supported? How do you get the resources?
We started this like a family ministry, and then we share the idea to friends, and then our friends share the idea to their friends. And also, we involve the IAS community. For example, we have the support of the women's ministries, and we collaborate, like sending reminders in our IAS community page. And we put baskets there at the IAS market every Friday. And our community has the opportunity to share their blessings, and they drop their blessings there. And we also have the support of our vendors who promote, like, and you drop, to God's food basket. And amazingly, God has provided always. There never has been a Friday that the baskets, the baskets are always filled, and at most times the baskets are overflowing.
Wow.
And also we have faculty here and even students who give regularly through the church. Sometimes they also give in kind, like rice and other food stuff. So it's so amazing, Bruce, how God has provided. At first I was scared. I was wondering, like, how would we go about it? How could this program be sustained? Because, of course, I was thinking also long term, like you do not start something and then maybe a few months you stop. And but I have been hearing, of course, people who need, and so communities uh, are the ones that recommend, because they're the ones who know who are students in their community who need help. So we get recommendations from them. Now, maybe what we have some practices that help the program work. We serve every Friday, 3:30 to 3 to 4:30, 3 to 4. But before that, like 1:30, our coordinator, we have usually a coordinator. And it's like when one coordinator leaves, another good coordinator comes. And there was always a coordinator who was willing to do this on a regular basis every Friday. This person is the supervisor. And then the volunteers, the servers, come at 2 o'clock. So like 1 hour, they prepare the food and then they also supervise serving. So that's how it is sustained, meaning I do not, in a way, engage myself in this preparation. So I'm freed also to do other tasks. And they have really been very regular. So that's how, through these practices, the program can continue.
It has been a blessing to needy people on campus, and I'm sure you have encountered some wonderful or unforgettable moments in the past 3 years of this ministry. Can you share with us some of those unforgettable moments?
I will be very pleased to do that, because I have had really very wonderful experiences. I'll share with you some. One of these was, this was a Friday, and I did not have any money. You see, every Friday, aside from the food stuff we get from the market, we also buy to ensure that there are items that are always there, like potatoes, for example, carrots, and onions and garlic and tomatoes, etc. And we spent about 5,000 at that time. I usually spend 5,000 for vegetables. And so that Friday morning, I did not have any money. And we had a guest that night. He slept with us. And during worship, I was the one who prayed. In my prayer, I said, Lord, we don't have money for God's food basket today. Please, Lord, direct us where to get that money. In a few hours, I need that money. I did something, like that one. So after the prayer, but honestly, I did not pray to to let him hear the predicament. I was just pouring my heart to the Lord. It was just us, family, and of course him. After that, then we had breakfast, and then when I was about to leave for school, he said, "Can you please tell me about what you prayed today?" And I said, yes, that one. You see, I said, this is like this, like this. I said, yeah, that's the same. You're doing the same thing as Andrews. He's from the US. And yes, I said something like that, but I said in a smaller scale. And he said, okay, here's the money. And he handed me $100. So it was exactly 5,000 pesos. And from that time on, he and his wife have regularly and given. And I'm so amazed that even during the pandemic, they would write and say, how is the program going? We are sending, this amount, please use it for the ministry. So that's really very faith affirming for me. And also, there are so many incidents when, in fact, before the pandemic, a few days before that, I received a text message from one of our faculty who said, I'm sending you some money. And when I checked with the church, it was so big, it was like mind-blowing. And I said, Lord, why are you sending me this money? A few days after that, there was this announcement of the lockdown. That was last March. And so when I heard of the lockdown, immediately I said, oh, so this is why the Lord sent this money. And so I got, sacks and sacks of rice from the market. And that's why during the lockdown, the program, we were able to continue serving. And until such time when it was very difficult to secure food, we were able to give cash money to the recipients. So that's how the Lord has provided.
What is your dream for this ministry?
Yeah, my dream is that this will continue to serve our self-supporting students. That this will not only provide for them physical food, but Bruce, what I'm seeing, in addition to, of course, they say they're blessed by receiving this food, but I see also a kind of a unity there, a belongingness, that they have built a community. We have a prayer group and we pray every week. We come together and pray every week. We pray for our donors. We pray, we receive prayer requests. So it's like they coming in that platform. It's spiritually engaging. And also they socialize, and I'm happy to see them, socializing with one another, helping each other, and also learning how to do this kind of ministry. And in fact, we had several of them who, had left. And then they write to me and say, I'm starting a program the same as this in the school where I am. Wow. So it's our dream is to influence our students here, and eventually they graduate and they spread, the spirit, and they think of self-supporting students. So I am very confident that this will continue. The Lord has proven himself faithful. I always tell myself, like, Lord, it's so amazing how I have a pouch. It has never been empty. I say, like, metaphorically and literally, God's food basket has never been empty. So I know this will continue. And my dream is that in other places where our recipients or even our students who see how the program is run will also be inspired to start a program like this.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Rosario, for sharing your love to the people who are in need, and for teaching the community here to be generous, to have the same heart like you, and become a channel of blessings. Because who knows, at some point of time, we too will benefit from the help of others. We might be in need. And so thank you so much for your ministry. We continue to pray for God's Basket Ministry, that it will grow and it will be a blessing that will be multiplied and be replicated in many places because of your influence. So thank you so much for joining me, and God bless you, Dr. Rosario.
Thank you, and I would like to take this opportunity, Bruce, to thank all our donors and those who pray, and also I would like to thank our recipients. It's such a joy to be learning from them, to be hearing their stories, their testimonies, and that we can always say that the Lord is good and very generous, and his love to us is so amazing.